right, boom. Welcome back. Gabe the Great. Back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Beautiful morning. Sun just came out here. Today I want to talk about something that is just like, I want to talk about the left. As you guys know, I speak out a lot against like Donald Trump, this administration, MAGA. But don't get it twisted. I've never voted Democrat in my life. And I don't think I ever will, because I quite frankly, I think the Democratic Party is over. But I want to talk about it because you would think, right? You would think that as corrupt and as just outlandish and just full of lies the Trump administration has been, you would think that the left side of the party or the Democrats will be able to garner support, and they cannot get support right now. And it's because I've said this, like, you can't build a country by trying to tear down half of it, right? Until you acknowledge what MAGA is right about, you're always gonna have this issue. And MAGA is right. Like the left focused too much on identity politics. Too much on identity politics. And at the core of everything is both right and left. Everything is white supremacy. And it's because people think that white supremacy is just this thing that makes, you know, white people treat black people bad. And it's not. It's not that. It's not that. One of the reasons why, this is just a personal theory, belief of mine, one of the reasons why I think that the left got so fragmented with identity politics is because identity politics, it is like the antithesis of white supremacy. But the problem is, if you don't fully throw off white supremacy, identity politics just eats away at itself. Because all identity politics is a race to the bottom. Who's the biggest victim, right? But the question is, why do you need to be a victim? Well, the reason why you need to be a victim is because underneath a white supremacist structure, whoever people see, people look back on history and go like, oh, in the United States of America, the victims get the, you know, empathy. The victim gets the rights. The victim gets da-da-da-da. Because that's how they view American politics. Because they look back and go, oh, when black people were victim, they got rights. When women were victim, they got rights. When trans people or gay people were victim. So identity politics becomes, hey, look at me, look at me, look at what I'm going through. And the problem is that the left really played into identity politics. Well, the right, I think the right helped really take down the left by playing into the identity politics. One of the things I think this way is so evident and obvious with the trans issue. Like, bro, like trans people are what, less than 2% of the population? The way that Americans talk about trans and transgender issues, you would think trans people are like 40% of the population. You would think like a new kid is coming home every day after their teacher performed like a gender operating surgery. I think the right was going around saying that. And the left would play into it because they're so big on identity politics. And it's like, oh, we got to protect the trans people from this and that. And oh, no, we got to protect these people over here. And it's like, bro. Stop, bro. Stop. People want justice. Right? We don't want to be categorized by our different subsects. Right? I don't want to just be categorized as a black person, or just as a man, or just as a whatever. These are aspects of my identity, but what we want is a neutral law. What we want is a law that doesn't give a fuck if you're black, or if you're gay, or if you're trans, or if you're straight, or if you're white. That's what we want. That's what the people want. They don't want you to take up their individual causes because, oh, I'm trans, or oh, I'm black, or oh, I'm a woman. And it's like, the other thing is that people can kind of see through the Democrats. The Democrats have kind of showed their spine. You can't tell your country that Donald Trump is a fascist for 4 years and then peacefully transfer power. You can't do that. you are just as bad as the guy that you said was a fascist. Like, you can't do that. You can't call a guy a fascist and then lose. Like, you can't do that. What argument do you have to stand on? This is the problem with this is the problem with our politics in general. Our politics is nothing but people using extreme language to manipulate our fear, to put us in fight or flight. Because the thing is, you don't talk about fascism, you deal with fascism. It's so amazing to me that and it's not just the left, like the power in the party. Look at left-wing YouTube. Left-wing YouTube can give you story and lecture and video essay after video essay about communism, about fascism, about white supremacy, but they can't stop it. They can't stop it. They can't stop fascism. They can't stop totalitarian governments. Y'all can talk about it all day long. Y'all can write essays on it. It's not real. And that's what MAGA feels. Y'all are not real. Y'all are not real. The left is in such disarray in the United States of America that there was a large portion of the country that will rather have a criminal in office than a left-wing politician. Right? Like, the left in their arrogance and in their ego are so far behind the right that it's not even funny. Like people think like MAGA is like, oh, MAGA is like out to lunch and this and that, and yeah, but like the left is so far behind MAGA, it's not even funny. And it's because they're arrogant. And it's because I talk about this in the manifesto. Like, people who think they're good, they feel that they are entitled to things. And the left thinks that they're entitled to a certain outcome. This is why they content farmed, right, a constitutional crisis. I commented this on a popular YouTube channel just yesterday, and I've been doing it for weeks. I've made videos about it. The left is content farming what they call a constitutional crisis. The left is over here content farming like stop talking about how bad Donald Trump is and go do something. Right? The left doesn't believe anything that they say. The left is full of a bunch of hypocrites. The bottom line. The left is full of a bunch of hypocrites. And the people know that. The people know that, yeah, y'all gonna do all this talking about Donald Trump, this, that, and the third, but then all y'all take an oath to defend the Constitution with your life? Why y'all talking to us? Go do your job. You campaign. You told us you would fight against this stuff, and you haven't fought against it. You keep talking to us. This is the problem, right? People ain't buying it no more. Like, the left is all cap. The left is all cap, and people know it. Like, y'all, like, and again, it's not just the top people. It is the whole progressive side. Like, I say this all the time, like, history is going to look at this time, and it's going to look at both sides as the problem. History is not going to remember, because all this is in 4K. Like, this whole time period is in 4K. I don't think people understand that, like, the fact that Donald Trump took over America in 4K is, once people get removed from this, like a few decades removed from this era, people are going to start questioning all the dictators of the past. Because Donald Trump is not attractive. Donald Trump is not a great orator. Donald Trump is not he's not a great thinker. He's an idiot. He's a criminal. All he did was lie and just do what he wants, and nobody stopped him. That's going to be the story of the left. The story of the left-wing politics of America is a bunch of spineless academics. It's just a bunch of people who can tell you the problem but not do anything about the problem. Like, they won't hold truth to power. I saw yesterday that Judge Sotomayor was saying how, like, oh, the lawyers, you know, we need to fight up. The lawyers are very important in fighting, you know, and preserving our democracy. It's like, shut up, bro. It's like, one, I don't want to hear nothing from the judicial branch. Y'all took the teeth. Y'all took the teeth out of your own mouth. Y'all gave the president presidential immunity, right? Now I know it's a more conservative leaning court, but again, that just goes to the root of the issue. How do you even have a conservative or liberal interpretation of justice? Justice is justice. There should not be a conservative or liberal interpretation of justice. The law should say what the law says, and that's that. But in either way, like, all this fighting against Trump is bullshit. It's BS, and people know it. People know it. They're not actually being leaders. The left isn't being leaders. And so I think the left is super far behind, and I don't think that they're going to get caught up. I think that the left has been left in the dust. I think the MAGA and the right is just smoking these guys, and they're not going to come back. They tried that with Biden. That's the thing. Like, the progressives, the lefts keep giving nothing. Like, they keep giving nothing. They don't want to be radical because they don't want to shake up the power structure. They don't want to shake. They want to. This is why we call it identity politics. You're just trying to get political power based upon other people's identity. You don't actually care about the cause, though, because you won't actually shake up the structure that is doing the oppression. Again, at the end of the day, the root issue of everything in America is white supremacy and the white supremacist structure that reinforces the ideals, the white supremacist ideals, right? That promotes procedure above justice, right? So nobody on the left knows what justice is if it goes outside of procedure. So they want to do this long, slow process that people who weren't interested in justice put in place to try to get justice. Y'all don't believe what y'all say y'all believe. Y'all don't really believe Donald Trump is a fascist because you don't treat him like a fascist. Y'all don't really believe the country's under a constitutional attack because y'all don't treat it like it. Why are you protesting in 2025? Boycott, nigga. Just cancel your Amazon Prime account. You guys are the purpose of protesting is to raise awareness. That's why you protest. We have a 24-hour news cycle. People are aware of what's going on. Right? But the left wants to do, okay, what can we do to look like we're fighting? What can we do to look like we're doing something? But y'all ain't got no real radical leaders. And every time y'all do have a radical leader, y'all want to rein them in. Right? So it's really a battle between the right and the center. But at the end of the day, I was telling someone the other day, until y'all get out of this left versus right BS, it won't even matter. You gotta deal with justice as justice. There is no conservative interpretation of justice. There is no liberal interpretation of justice. A society decides what justice is. They write it into law, and that is what's justice within the confines of that, the borders of that nation. That's what justice is. And our government needs to catch up to our culture, because our culture has a totally different definition of justice than our government. And until we get whatever leader does that, it don't matter what political party they're a part of. Because Donald Trump has been performing that. Donald Trump has been performing the fact that the government is not caught up to the culture. But MAGA's about to be really hurt when they figure out that this guy is more corrupt than the politicians. But that's why I tell people, follow me, man. I'm a guy who holds the government accountable. Public record, it's all there. No lawyer, no nothing. You just live your convictions, period. The other side is going to retaliate. The other side is going to do whatever. The other side is going to, hey, you don't stop living out your convictions. You don't stop standing for what you believe in. And on the left, everybody knows these people can back down. These people will talk a good game, and then they'll get in those chambers, and then they'll make compromises with white supremacists and evil people who don't give a fuck about their constituents. We know that's what the Democrats are, and we're fed up with it. So no, don't think they're ever going to get support back. I think people are severely underestimating how bad Donald Trump is. But for me, I see it as opportunity. It's opportunity for us to get a new constitution. It's opportunity to finally get our government to catch up with our culture. I see it as opportunity. And I think if another leader steps up and does that or whatever, I think when people start seeing that, we'll be fine. But the left ain't it. I'll tell y'all that right now. All right, love you guys. Bye.